Hi, welcome to Module 0, where we're going to talk about learning all the necessary things that you need to know so that you can do C++, so we can code. I have opened Visual Studio 2015. I already downloaded and installed it. And this is what I get when I open the IDE. I get the start page. Okay, I need to make a new project. I can either click on Start New Project here on the Start page, or I can go up to File, New Project. Either way will do the same thing. Okay, first check and make sure you're on Visual C++. I'm not sure how, but sometimes you can end up with another language, and that never goes well. So we want a Win32 console application, and I'm going to name mine Nelson, Hello World, because that's going to be the name of our project. And the next area is the location, and this is where Visual Studio will create your project. I have it going on my USB under Spring 2017 CIS 1275 programs. You may want to make a directory on your computer or on your or on a drive. So whatever you want, put your project there. If you find out you've made your project somewhere that you don't want it to be, it's not that big a deal. You can drag and drop it wherever you want. So click OK. And now make sure not to click Finish, click Next on this one. If you click Finish, you're going to have to throw away that program and start over. Okay, we want to unclick Precompiled Header and Security Development Checks and click Empty Projects. That will make the kind of project we want, a console application that's an empty project. I know it takes a few steps to get here, but they're really fast, and after a while they become automatic. So here we are. Our project, Nelson Hello World, has been created, and there's nothing here. So I need to create a file. I'm going to right-click on Source Files, Add, New Item. What I want is a .cpp file, and yes, that's a C++ CPP, yep. And instead of source, we're going to call it driver. That's going to be our file name. It's a common name for the file that contains our main function, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The first thing I want to do is make a comment and put my name and email at the top of my file. Okay, the way we make comments is with 2 forward slashes, and you see it's turning green. And green means that the compiler doesn't pay attention to it. Comments are for the programmer, so we can remember what we did, basically. And it's always a good idea to put your name on your work. So here's the file name, driver.cpp. Now, all C++ programs begin in the main function, and that looks like this: int main and 2 open and close braces. Main is the name of our function. The parentheses means that we could pass data into the function if we wanted to. And indeed, if you were running with a different compiler, you might want to do that, maybe on a Linux box or something. But in Visual Studio, we don't. So we're going to leave it empty. Int is the return type of our function, and in this case we are going to say return 0. That means that the the program terminated gracefully, nothing bad happened, everything is cool, and that is a flag that's returned to the operating system. In general, this is what main is going to look like. It's going to return an int, and that int is going to be 0. Int means an integer, which is a counting number. It's a whole number. And I know you know what I'm talking about. You've all had algebra. It's, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So and also 0. All of the code in a function exists between these two braces. We call them curly braces sometimes. So that is where we're going to type our code. I want to put on the screen hello world. In order to do that, I'm going to have to use something called a cout. Cout means console out, so that means something's going to be displayed on the monitor. These two arrows means that it's a stream, because anything that goes in or out of the computer is streamed usually. And what I'm going to cout is hello world, just like that. And when I put text inside double quotes, it means it's going to show me exactly what I wrote. It's called a string literal. All right, and the end of just about every single C++ expression is a semicolon. So get used to putting them on the end of what we would call our sentence. It's like our punctuation. Now you see I have a little red squiggly underneath cout. This is one of the great things about using an IDE like Visual Studio is if you make a typo or forget to do something, well, it tells you right away. And it says cout is undefined. Well, that's true because I have not imported the C++ library I need to do that. So I'm going to pound include IOStream. IOStream means input output stream, and cout is output. I'm also going to add a line that says using namespace standard. And what that is that it's using all of the names of the variables in the C++ standard namespace, and the C++ standard library is included in it. When I say pound include IOStream and I put the name of a library inside these angled brackets, it means it's a C++ standard library. So look, obviously it worked. I have no more red squigglies. So let's see if this will build. We go to build, build solution. We look down here, and this is where our results are going to be. See where it says output? Okay, we're a little slow today. Not responding. Sometimes you have a lot of stuff open in Visual Studio, kind of gets irritable. There we go. So here's the information that it tells us. It prepared for the build, it created directories, it initialized the build, and it compiled and linked my project. Okay, so now I have an exe file which I can execute. So the way I do that is I go debug, start without debugging, and here it is. Here's my console window, and here's hello world, and then press any key to continue. Well, that's kind of hard. That's kind of shoved up in that corner there and kind of hard to read. So I'm going to fix that. Let's go back and edit this. I'm going to write \n\n space, and then at the end I'm going to add \n again. \n is a control character that means go to the next line. So I'm going to go down 2 lines, and over 1 space I'm going to write hello world and go down 2 more lines, and let's see how that looks. I'll build it again and make sure I didn't make any typos. It's okay, my build succeeded, and here we go. Okay, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? And press any key to continue. Well, we always get that on a console application. It dismisses the window. So here we are. We have completed our first project, Hello World, in Visual Studio. See you at the next Suncat Bite.